you're grabbed by the theater. You're this kid, as I said, who you start reading Chekhov. Yeah. You start reading the classics, and it grabs you, and you start seeing some productions. You get into theater. You have so many go nowhere jobs just to stay alive. I mean, you're delivering papers. You're building superintendent for a while, but not a good one. I don't think.
Never. The guy came out and started talking about me a few years back.
Yeah,
saying he was a terrible super. Or something like that. And I thought, why? Why would he say that?
Yeah. And
who's a terrible super? I'm sure there's a lot around. I mean,
No, I saw that. There's a really old man who was like, I remember him. He was a terrible super. And I'm like, okay, take his Oscar back.
I know. Fine actor, terrible super.
Christopher Walken, bad mechanic. Robert De Niro, it's just awful substitute teacher. It's like, what the fuck? What are you talking about? So you come along, you're doing theater, and then this thing that people dream about happens, which is you get noticed. Francis Ford Coppola is going to make The Godfather, and he says, I want this guy, Al Pacino. And the studio says, fuck you.
Of course.
We want Robert Redford. We want someone who's been a success. We want someone who looks a certain way. We want someone probably blonde hair, blue eyed, whatever.
Sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm looking at you when I say it. I'm sorry.
Yeah. They wanted me, actually.
My grandmother.
I was 8 at the time. Yeah.
My grandmother on my mother's side has blonde hair, blue eyes. Mm-hmm. So just to note that.
It's in there. It's in you somewhere.
Yeah, it is.
But what I'm saying
had to put
is
it in.
They don't want you, I've seen the screen test where they're saying, okay, well, how about Jimmy Caan as Michael Cole? How about they're trying everybody? They're throwing everybody in there. Yeah. But Francis Ford Coppola sticks with you. They start shooting, and you can tell. You read in the book, and it's riveting on the set. People are like, I don't know about this guy. I don't don't what, and you can feel it.
Yeah. Well, they were giggling.
You heard giggling.
Yes.
So here's what's amazing to me. These scenes that I've watched and that everyone's watched in this room 100,000 times that are now iconic masterclasses in how you play a character, you're doing it and people are going, oh man, let's hope they get a real actor in here soon. Yeah. Oh which is unbelievable to me.
Was it that severe, Conan?
I was an 8-year-old kid, but I was there. And I had a lot of pull with the studio. I called Paramount, and I was like, I don't think he's got it. Who is this? 8-year-old Conan O'Brien. What are you? I'll be a big deal someday. You'll see. Why aren't you using a real phone? Why are you miming one with your hand?
Oh my God. It's funny.
But no, and the thing is, which is, to me, I look at that performance, and as you say in the book, your concept, which was clearly the right one, which is you got to slowly see Michael come to this position. And then there's the iconic scene where they're all trying to figure out, after Vito's been shot, what to do. And you are sitting there with your broken jaw and you say, okay, we arrange a meeting, and the camera's pushing in. I can't watch that, and I can't talk about it without tingling, because I think it is a beautiful way to tell a story through acting. But it takes patience. And the studio was saying,
well, they wanted to see something else, I guess. And both Francis and I think, felt that way about it. But we were unable, or at least I was unable to articulate what I was doing, but I was doing that. I thought about it on my long walks in Manhattan.
You talk about it. You would take long walks. You get the film, but it hasn't started shooting yet. You took long walks.
Yeah, I would go all the way from 91st to the Village and back. 91st and Broadway, and I just think about the part. Think about it. I still do that with roles. I just think about them, and it's fun. It gets me through the walk.
Yeah. You get your step.
Yeah.
I'm glad to know that in coming up with who Michael Corleone was, you got your steps in.
Yeah, there it is. I managed not to get hit by a car. And I think that was in those days.
They should make a Fitbit that tells you have achieved the character. 10,000 steps, and you've
stop
nailed.
walking.
Stop now. You've nailed Michael Corleone. You've got it.
I love it.
But you know what's fascinating to me that I didn't know is that Coppola wants to show the studio, so it wasn't supposed to shoot yet, but he moves up the famous scene in the Italian restaurant.
I think he said he didn't do that. So I corrected in the book a little bit, but
it's a good story. Let's
but
go
it
with
is. I think it's true.
Yeah.
I think he was sensing it, but the conversation in the Ginger Man.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember the Ginger Man in Manhattan, 64th? And and that's where he called me in, and he was sitting there with his family and eating, and it's a bar and grill that I frequented, and a lot of people did. It's beautiful. Did you ever go there?
I didn't go there, but